There's some glare there. Is that like super distracting? It probably is. Is that a little better? Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to make this video. Actually, I've wanted to make this video for a few months now, but I've had other video ideas and other things going on. But it has been almost 2.5 years since the Sony A7 IV was released back in October 21st, 2021, that the A7 IV was bestowed upon us. Now, this video is about why I think that the A7 IV could be Sony's best camera to date. I've seen videos, I see a lot of people talk about saying, oh, this is the best camera for this or the best camera for that. I really do believe this. I honestly think that the A7 IV might be the ultimate tick every box camera for Sony, even currently right this second compared to everything else in the lineup. And here's why. First is the 33 megapixel sensor. In my opinion, I don't care about like sweet spots or any of that stuff. For what I use this camera for mainly with outdoor photography, I do a little bit of street photography as well. The cropping with 33 megapixels is plenty enough resolution. There's more than enough resolution with a 33 megapixel sensor. You can crop into the image and you can see details. And as you crop in, you're not getting all fuzzy and crazy and pixely. The readout is really fast. I'll put it down here. I'm not sure what the shooting speeds are and all that kind of stuff, but I'll leave it down there. But it shoots fast enough. The raw files that come out of it are great. The sensor's awesome. The second thing that I absolutely love about this camera more than anything else is the mode switch dial. So being able to go from video mode to picture mode, moving that lever back and forth, and the S&Q is also on that mode switch dial. Now, I know some people are like, well, you could just switch the custom mode wheel back and forth too. You know, yeah, I get that. To me, I think it's even simpler, just being like boom, boom, back and forth. I love that. I love that switch. That's the best. On to number 3. Sony's autofocusing system in their Alpha camera line is probably and arguably the best autofocusing system out right now. I've had the Canon R5, I've also used an R6 Mark II, and the video before this, that segment before this one, was shot on the Lumix S5 IIX. In my experience, all of those systems work really well. All of those two companies, they work pretty good. But I've seen in all 3 of those cameras where the focusing definitely hunts a little bit and you can see that breathing. Sony isn't completely off the hook as far as focus breathing. It does happen, like people that use Sony cameras know that. And Sony's doing a pretty good job fixing that with their new updates on their cameras. So technically the A7 IV is a dated system with the release of Sony's new AI processing chip, which is on board the ZVE1, the A7R5, and the A6700. Pretty sure that's all of them. If you clicked on this video because you want a full frame camera with an EVF and you don't want to drop $4 grand, trust me, you will not be dissatisfied with the A7 IV. I recently made a video comparing the autofocusing system of the A6700 and the A7 IV specifically for birding. So after this video, jump over there, check that out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Next up is video codecs and the picture profiles. Template color is the standard that all of the camera brands are delivering over the last handful of releases. The A7 IV is no exception, along with S-Cinetone and S-Log3, and a bunch of other creative look picture effects, if you want to call it that. You have all of Sony's current creative arsenal at your fingertips. Now, I personally use S-Cinetone 99% of the time because I admit that I am not great at color grading, but I have been practicing a lot more and it's coming along. I'm getting there. Next is the Sony menu system. A quick anecdote for you. I started my first YouTube channel on a Sony Handycam. And looking back at those older videos on that first channel I made, it's pretty funny, man. It does not look good. But hey, if you like bowling by any chance, that channel, that first one I made, was about ball reviews and bowling and different things. So if you're interested, I'll leave a link to that also. Go over there. I'm still making videos, not as many as I used to a couple years ago, but I'm still making them. So go check that out. So when I was ready to upgrade from that Handycam into a real camera, quote unquote, I reached out to a friend of mine, Michelle. Hi, Michelle, if you ever watch this. She is an incredible photographer and she's a Sony user. And she was the one that suggested getting the A7 III. I could make a whole video about using not even a 4K 1080, whatever that was, going to a full frame actual camera, the A7 III. It blew my mind. Just the picture quality, I digress. But I'll have to say that my one complaint about the A7 III was the menu. It was a bit confusing and it was a bit disjointed. It just didn't feel like a practical menu system that you could easily find those things that you were looking for. Then after a few years, I picked up the A7S III, which has this new menu system. That has been one of my favorite features on the new Alpha cameras. It's intuitive, it's easy to customize, everything makes sense. It is where you think it would be. Just makes sense. All you old school Sony users, comment below about your experiences with the old Sony menu. I'd love to read some of those comments. Lastly is the price you pay for the performance you're getting. Currently, the A7 IV is still around $2,500, and you can find some used ones around $2,000. Considering everything that I've talked about, the sensor, intuitive mode dial, video features, creative looks, picture profiles, the best menu system on the market, and probably a lot of things that I'm forgetting. Only have so much time, let me know anything that I missed. And that's why, in my very humble opinion, the A7 IV is Sony's best hybrid camera available right this second. You could put in the 4K 60 crop as a con. Obviously, there are a few shortcomings about the A7 IV. Like I said earlier, if you're not a professional photographer and you just need a really great hybrid camera that does everything pretty good, then the A7 IV is absolute money. If you want to compare it to the A7R5, it's $1,500 more. And for $1,500, you're going to pick up 8K video, the 61 megapixel sensor, and the new AI processing chip. I don't think $1,500 is worth that. I say you stay with the A7 IV. The autofocus is incredible. The sensor's great. You'll have absolutely no trouble with it. There it is. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I totally appreciate it. If you're not subscribed and I brought some kind of value to you, it's the most YouTuber-y thing to say, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Thanks. Thumbs up. All that good stuff. And I'm very curious. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Let's have a conversation down there. All right? See you next time.